Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Carlos with Twins Reef, and this is my freshwater planted tank. And to be honest guys, I've been satisfied with this tank so far. So it's been about a week that we transitioned from using straight conditioned tap water to Rodi water, remineralize it, and also using pH buffers and actually adjusting our water temperature from 78 Fahrenheit to 82 Fahrenheit. And yeah, there's been a couple things that I have done since the last update. One of the things that I've done, guys, has been adding house plants. I'm a little bit sketchy still regarding these house plants, because I've never really kept the house plant like these indoor house plants in an aquarium, so I'm scared they're going to rot because of the water. But I did somewhat of research, and as long as the roots are in the water and the little base of the plant is outside the water, you shouldn't have any issues. But one thing I've noticed that right here was rotting, so I don't know if that was already like that when I bought it, or it's just got like this because I probably damaged it when I got it, or it was like that at the store. So this plant was typically, the price of it was like 20 or 35 or $30. But because of this leaf that was damaged, I went to Home Depot and I told them, hey, if this thing doesn't survive, could I return it? And they just sold it to me for $5. So I was like, okay. Forgot the name of that plant, but I got all these plants, the information, their names from a YouTube channel, which I forgot about it. But this plant is a fern. I didn't get this one from a YouTube recommendation. I thought they had mentioned mossy fern. They didn't have none at the Home Depot, but this is a regular fern, regular indoor house plant fern, which I'm thinking it should do just fine. The other one's like a palm sort of plant right here. It's back there. I don't know if I'll be able to record it, but yeah, they said that one does good. And then peace lily, which is right here. And then this is my favorite plant by far. This is called it's with the name, I forgot the name, Motel Deliciosa, I forgot, something like that, but that thing's beautiful. One thing I did notice in the stem, it's turning yellow, so I don't know if that's because there's too much water or not, or if it was like that and I just never paid attention. So basically what I did, I basically modified my driftwoods. And before, when I first set up this tank, guys, the base of the driftwood was down here, and then the little branches were actually going this way. But this time these little branches here are going down, and then the trunk, or whatever you want to call it, the base of the driftwood, is pointing up. That's where I tied my plants with zip ties, as you guys can see right there. And I try to just have the roots underneath the water so they can consume all the nitrates and things like that plants feed. Another thing I added was this plant right there, so we'll see, hopefully that thing grows down here with a bunch of leaves. Forgot the name, man. I'm not really into house plants, like knowing the names and scientific names and this and that. So yeah, so I want to have this really nice. I was thinking of painting the back of that wall green, but yeah, it's not gonna look good because we already have blue and white, and yeah, it's just gonna look funny and weird. So that's what's new. Besides, you know, for those that are new and just happen to click on this video just today as you are watching it, I've set this tank up about 6 months ago. We're using just sand for the substrate, driftwood, and we had some plants, and we have the AI Prime freshwater lights, first generation. Man, I don't know what, but we were getting a bunch of hair algae and some type of green cyanobacteria that was suffocating and killing all the plants I had before, and just covering the whole tank, making everything look bad. And I was using tap water. Then I went with RODI water, and supposedly I was dosing it, But when I was dosing it, guys, I didn't even read the instructions. I'm like so bad that when it said add a tablespoon, I actually thought it was like a spoon, the ones that you use to eat. And those spoons that you use, they come in different sizes, but it was actually a measuring tablespoon. That So basically I was doing things wrong, and I would still get algae. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just use tap water again and condition it, still get algae. And I almost gave up until I said, you know what, let me do a little bit more research and see what I could do, so that my tank could do good. So first, I decided to get my driftwood out. It was covered with a bunch of algae. I scrubbed it down as much as I could. And yeah, it's been about like 3 weeks now that I cleaned the driftwood, and we haven't seen any signs of no hair algae. Then I had bought 5 discus, because they're my favorite fish. And these are high-end discus. 2 of them jumped out, and I only have 3 from the ones that I bought. And then I have 1 that's there, but as you guys can see, they don't have enough color. So for discus, they are a little bit of, they're special fish. So what I had to do with my research, I already knew, but I just never really went by the books. I knew that discus like acidic water, where pH anywhere from 5.5 to 6.8. I was using straight tap water. My pH out of my tap was anywhere from 7.2 to 7.5. So that's why we went with RODI, and we use pH buffer and try to get that pH at least at 6.5. Discus like warmer water, minimal at least 82. Our water temperature was 78 Fahrenheit, so we went back to 82. I was scared because of the plants, but I was like, after reading what type of plants I got, they are able to tolerate that warmer temperature of the water. We have plants like Anubias, ferns, Amazon swords. We have wisterias in the back. We have lilies right here, and I forgot this plant here, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna do good. So after knowing that the plants will do good with warmer temperature, once you acclimate it, they should be fine. And then I got lost on what I was gonna say because my daughter was about to cry. So after doing research that the plants would do good once they're acclimated to warmer water, again we went to RODI water, and we dosed that or remineralized that RODI water with all that micro nutrients that it needs in the water column. I am not dosing, and I'm not so sure when. I got to do a little bit more research when it comes to dosing this tank. One thing that I was scared regarding the house plant that's going to consume all those nutrients that my water plants or my aquarium plants need. So we'll see how that goes. I added new root taps to all the plants, so we'll see what's the difference. Another thing I did, I adjusted the water. I adjusted the light setting, so there's, it's not as strong as before. And man, it's been a couple weeks, at least like 3 weeks now, that I haven't seen no algae growth on my tank. Then I was like, what type of fish consumes algae, hair algae, and other type of algae that will help me out, with my algae issues in my tank. So the fishes that I found or I researched that would do fine are Siamese algae eaters. As you guys can see, one of them here. I think about 3 of them. So there's one of them, and these fish supposedly consume hair algae and other type of algae, but they do grow a little bit bigger. And then another fish that it's really cool, and I thought that, I was always sketchy about keeping it. I would always see it at the store. I can't see it right now, but it's called a high stream loach. That thing looks pretty dope. It looks exotic, it looks nice, and if we see it later on in the video, I'll show you guys. So that's another fish that will be able to consume hair algae and all these other type of algae. And then another fish that it's always been my favorite and has always been in my freshwater tanks is, and he's right here, is the autosynclus catfish, who is right here in the corner. So that's another fish that will help you with algae issues. All right, now with plants, new plants that I added is this Anubis here, which is the like the medium or larger size one. That's new. Then we have these little bamboo moss, fern moss. I forgot the name. Bought those at Petco. They were on sale like 75% off. So we'll see how that grows on the tree, on the driftwood. It looks super natural. Looks dope. The camera does not make justice, guys, on how this tank looks in person. It looks really beautiful. And then yeah, everything looks good. My fish are doing wonderful. My neon tetras, my cardinals, my blue German rams, my angelfish. I was gonna say my discus, but this discus I just noticed just now that it seems like it has some white sprinkles on them. So I don't know if that's I don't think that's actually ick. It might. This fish has always gotten sick, but I'm able to treat him, so I'm gonna remove him and treat him because he does not have his color. I think that's a leopard or a snakeskin discus, so I'm gonna get him out. And then another fish that are doing good are my peppermint Cory catfish. These things are doing so well that they started to breed. They started to breed when I had them in my 30-gallon. I probably had like 4 or 5 of them, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's probably a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I see. They always swim around as a group, and yeah, so basically like 2 or 3 of them are babies that survived when I transitioned from my 30-gallon Innovative Marine to this Red Sea Reefer 300. And just today, something that I saw that was super cool, my angelfish started to lay eggs, as you guys can see back there. We have some. At first I thought they were my discus because my discus like hang out right there, but it's my angelfish. So I don't know who's the female, but the breeding pair is this angelfish right here. They are koi angelfish, so I think that's the female. And then unless that one back there, unless that's the male, he is freaking huge. That thing, he's big, he's beautiful. So yeah, I don't think I want to breed them, but if I decide to, I have like a 20-gallon drop-off tank that I could always just keep them there and see if we're able to breed the angelfish. That'll be cool, because koi angelfish are nice. I really like them. Which my plans in the beginning for this tank was just to keep Altum angels with wild discus, but I decided to go with designer discus and designer clownfish. I mean, designer angelfish like koi's. I am noticing though that angelfish is being so aggressive. They do have eggs attacking the little tetras, so I'm probably gonna remove this pair, guys, because yeah, I think it could be to that point where you have a breeding pair in your tank, and they could either kill your small fish, or they could stress the other fish. Their immune system drops, and then if you have a fish like discus, something that it's like that so delicate, if their immune system drops, there's always parasites that I heard. There's always like little things in your aquarium that if the immune system is weak of the fish, it's gonna attach itself to the fish, and the fish is gonna get sick. So yeah. So most likely I'm gonna get rid of that pair. Probably not sell it, but just keep it on its own tank. So yeah, we'll see. I gotta talk to the wife. So yeah, those are my angelfish. That's new. We have eggs. Rummy nose are doing good. Last time I saw one that jumped out. Rummy nose are like one of my favorite tetras. Those things are beautiful. Just that red tip face and that zebra tail, they look beautiful. They look super nice. Cardinals look nice. And I just wish my discus will get color, because this is a blue diamond discus. The other one I think was a leopard or snake skin discus. I got to get rid of that one and treat it by itself. I have the antibiotics and everything that I've done before, and it works miracles. And yeah, this is the freshwater tank, guys. My plan for this is do water changes, 10 gallons water change the same time I do it on my reef tank. But yeah, this thing's looking good. It looks better in person. I haven't had no algae issues, no algae in the glass, no algae on the driftwood or plants, so fingers crossed. And I'll keep you guys updated on my planet tank, and we'll see what we do with the angelfish, and we'll see what happens with the discus, and we'll see if we see any new growth on the plants, or if not growth, if they bush up and look healthy and green how they're supposed to. We see if these moss grows. We'll see how the indoor house plants do in this aquarium. So I'm gonna give them a month. If they do good in a month, they don't die out, that means they're doing good. So we'll see how this goes. But anyhow, thank you guys for watching this video. And until next time, guys, I am out. Peace.